Today's class. We're working with downward rotation of the shoulder blade. So your shoulder blade goes into upward rotation and downward rotation. It does lots of other things as well. But when it goes into downward rotation, it's a movement from coming up to going back. And most of us kind of live in this position where our arm bone, our humerus, is more in front of us. And today, like on the computer, driving, today we're going to be playing with taking the humerus, the upper arm bone, behind us. And generally what happens when you take the upper arm bone, the humerus, behind you is the front of the shoulder moves more forward. The top end of the humerus translates forward anteriorly. And this can be a really nice stretch for the anterior deltoids, which for a lot of us can be like quite tight because our arm is always in flexion. So when we take the arm back into extension, it can be a nice release across the front of our shoulder. But eventually we get to a point where it kind of gets a little bit stuck. And so what I really like to do when I take the arm back is once it gets to that point, I think about shoulder blade retraction, which means the shoulder blade draws in towards the spine, and then you get a little bit more movement and you get into more of a pec stretch. So when the arm goes back in space, if you think about drawing your shoulder blade towards the spine, you can often get a little bit more movement and more of a release through the pecs, which for most of us are quite tight as well. The philosophical theme for class today is Vairagya, which translates as spaciousness. Well, I like to translate it as spaciousness. Technically, it translates as non-attachment. Can you practice non-attachment? And I like to translate that as, can you allow for spaciousness, give space for things to change? Right now, I love having my alone time at home, but Joe's at home a bit more right now because he's not at school as much. And so, there's part of me that's really attached to I have my alone time and my own personal time. And, Vairagya is having that ability to, okay, can I allow for change to happen? Can I give a sense of space for things to change? Can I give a bit of space for myself to feel different emotions through all these changes? Can I give space for myself to maybe feel really happy one day? Give space for myself to feel a little bit meh today. So when I checked in with all of you this morning, some of you said you're really happy. Some of you felt a little bit lower and sad, or, not more mediocre. And that's all great. And that's the practice of Vairagya. Can you give space for yourself to feel different things throughout the day? Can you give space for your body to change from day to day? And can you give space for your lover to live in close proximity with you 24/7? Okay, we're gonna start on our mat. So please come to your mat. We're gonna lie right down on our backs. And once you're on your back, bend both of your knees and take your feet so they're mat distance wide. So you're coming into a constructive rest position. And then place your hands on your belly if that feels all right for you. And take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. So the question becomes then, how do we create space? A feeling of spaciousness. And, right now it might not be able to be so physical, especially if you need to be indoors, especially if you have lots of people around you, like your family, your partner. And so practices such as meditation, yoga, even just the simple exercise of taking deep breaths can create mental spaciousness so that we have space to feel different things. We have space to allow for change. We have space to allow people into what we would normally consider our personal space. Can you take one more deep inhale into your body? And a full exhale. Beautiful. Please place your feet down hip width wide. So take your feet so they're hip distance wide. Place your hands down beside your hips. And press your feet down into the ground and lift the pelvis up. And so already we're taking our arms, our shoulder blades into that downward rotation that I was talking about earlier. So keep your hands shoulder distance wide, palms flat on the ground. Push the feet down into the floor and just squeeze your glutes. It's always nice to kind of start the practice with a nice toit ass. Toit, as the Aussies say it. So nice firm butt. Can you keep the butt nice and firm, but keep the knees hip width hugging in. And then press your palms down into the ground. Press your shoulders, so your shoulder blades down into the floor. And as you do that, can you notice how your chest lifts and opens a little bit more? If you can, grab the edges of your yoga mat. So wrap your hands around the edge of your yoga mat. And then keeping your shoulders where they are, just try to pull your hands apart as if you're trying to pull the mat in half. Pull your hands away from each other to the side. Push your shoulders down a little more. Can you lift your chest a little higher? Keep your chin neutral. Keep pushing the feet down. And maybe you think to yourself, gosh, this feels like really spacious across my chest. This feels maybe a little nice. Can you take 3 more breaths and breathe into your chest, into your ribs? Gently pull the mat apart. It doesn't need to be too strong. Push the shoulders down into the ground. Take 1 more deep inhale. And a full exhale. Well done. Slowly roll your spine down towards the ground. Okay, interlace your hands behind your head. Bring your knees so they're over your hips and your shins are parallel to the floor. Take a full inhale. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders up off the ground. Take a deep breath into your body. Exhale, lengthen your right leg forward on a 45-degree angle. So your right shin is more or less level with your left ankle. Keep your left knee right above your left hip. So your left knee's at 90. Your right leg is straight, but your right leg is only at a 45-degree angle, so it's a steep pitch. It's not close to the ground at all. Can you get your shoulder blades higher off the ground? Good. Take 1 more deep inhale. On your exhale, just twist your chest a little to the left. So you're just adding a little bit of a twist. Your chest turns a little to the left. And inhale, come back to center. And exhale, bend the right knee so it's right over your right hip. Exhale, straighten the left leg so it's at a 45-degree slope. And can you keep that right knee right over the right hip? Scoop the lower belly in. Lift the shoulder blades off the ground. Take 1 more deep inhale. And exhale, twist your chest a little to the right. Can you keep both shoulder blades off the ground? Take 1 more deep inhale. Exhale, come back to center, knees together. Lift a little bit higher. Good, and then release. Take your hands down to the ground. Press down through your feet, lift your pelvis up, come into bridge pose. Take a deep breath in and bridge. Wrap your hands around the edges of your mat. Pull your mat apart. Press the shoulders down to lift your chest. Take 1 more deep inhale. And then exhale, lower the spine back down. Interlace the hands behind your head. Get your head and shoulders off the ground. Knees are over your hips. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lengthen your right leg forward on that 45-degree slope. Keep your left knee over your left hip. If you're like me, I tend to sneak my left knee towards my face. It gets a little sneaky sometimes. Get those shoulder blades off. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twist towards the left. Try to get both shoulder blades off the ground. Take 1 more deep inhale. Full exhale. And inhale, come back to center, knees together. Exhale, left leg forward on that 45-degree angle. Scoop the lower belly in. Get the shoulder blades up off the ground. You can do it. And then twist to the right. Keep both shoulder blades off the ground. Twist, twist, twist. Right knee is right over the right ankle. Take 1 more deep inhale. Full exhale, lift. And inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release. Hug both knees into your chest. Give them a big squeeze. Well done. Rock yourself up to your hands and knees. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Inhale, look forward, tilt your sit bones up to the sky, open your chest to the front. Exhale, push your hands and knees down into the ground, round through your back, gaze back towards your belly button, push the floor away. Inhale, look forward, tilt your sit bones up, open your chest to the front. Exhale, push your hands and knees down, round through the back, scoop the lower belly in, push. Inhale, come to neutral, and step back, plank pose. Take a deep breath in and plank. Steady breath out. Can you keep reaching the center of your chest forward? Get the back of your head level with your spine. Press the tops of your thighs up so your pelvis is more or less level with your shoulders. And if you know me, I like holding plank. Plank is such a great way to strengthen our shoulder girdle. It's such a brilliant pose. Can you keep your breath deep and steady? Can you focus your eyes on one spot? One way to create spaciousness in mind, 3 more breaths here, is by focusing your mind on one thing. And when the mind is focused on one thing, you're not focused on a mazillion things. Mazillion is a new number. And when you're not focused on a mazillion things, then you can create more space in the mind by just focusing on one thing. Take one more deep inhale. Well done. Exhale all the way to your belly. Take your hands back behind you. So again, notice how the arms are kind of going that, shoulder blades are going into the downward rotation. The arms are behind you. And now lift the arms off the ground. And as you lift the arms off the ground, can you think about drawing your shoulder blades together to broaden across the chest? Turn your inner thighs to the sky. Press your pubic bone down into the ground, and then slowly lift your legs off the ground. 3 more deep Ujjayi breaths. 2, can you let your breath create physical spaciousness? Inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale. Good, 1 more breath. Can you lift your legs and your chest and your arms up? Good, exhale, hands beside your lower ribs. Please press back to child's pose. Bum to your heels. So if at any point during class I'm teaching something and it's just not working for you today, then just honor that. You do not have to do everything I'm teaching. Listen to your body first and foremost, always. Come forward to all fours. Inhale. Downward facing dog pose, full exhale. Okay, please bend your right knee. Let your left heel drop heavy. Take a full breath in. Steady breath out. Switch sides, bend your left knee, right heel drops heavy. Take a deep inhale. Full exhale. Straighten both legs. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. As you look back towards your feet, can you let both heels release evenly down towards the ground? Can you push evenly through both hands? If you did Sama class, can you remember that feeling of evenness across the hands? Sense of evenness, of releasing through both heels. Eyes are focused on one spot between your feet. Can you create physical spaciousness by breathing deeply? Take 1 more deep inhale. And a full exhale. And step your feet together like they're one tree trunk. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Keep both hips facing down. Lift your right leg back and up towards the sky. Keep both hips facing down. Exhale, curl the right knee in towards your face, round through the back. Push the floor away and step the foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down towards the ground. Inhale, reach both hands up towards the sky. Can you let your pelvis shift forward and down? As the pelvis shifts forward and down, pull the right thigh back into the hip socket. Pull your left knee forward against the mat. Scoop the lower belly in. Can you reach up a little bit higher on your inhale? And exhale, release your hands behind you. Keep your chest lifted. Take your hands back behind you and interlace your hands together. Option to bring the palms together or keep the palms separate if you're a little tighter through the shoulders. Inhale, can you lift your chest maybe a little bit higher? Maybe the knuckles touch your back hamstring. Take one more breath in. Keep pulling the right heel back, the left knee forward. Maybe even look up towards the ceiling just a little bit. And then exhale. Slowly hinge forward, bringing your belly towards your thigh. Fingertips to the floor. Lift your back knee off the ground. Keep bending into your front knee. Keep pressing your left thigh up. Keep reaching the center of your chest forward. Take a deep inhale into your body. And a full exhale. Press that back leg up. So that back leg is supercharging to the sky. That front knee is bending. The chest is lengthening forward. Take one more deep inhale. Full exhale. And turn your left foot out 45 degrees. So it's turned out on an angle, 45 degrees. Bend into your front knee. And then inhale, reach both hands all the way up towards the sky, coming towards warrior one position. Can you keep bending into your front knee? Can you keep pulling the right thigh back into the hip socket? Can you lift the inner arches of both feet? And keep staying anchored through that back foot. Now, if putting your back foot on the ground on that 45-degree angle doesn't work for you, then just keep the back heel lifted and take crescent lunge instead. That's totally fine. Can you take one more deep inhale? Good. Exhale. Hands come back behind you. Interlace your fingers together. Interlace your hands. Inhale, lift your chest just a little. Exhale, belly comes towards your front thigh. Let your belly rest on your front thigh. Maybe take your arms a little overhead. Can you let your head release? Keep bending into that front thigh. Keep pressing down through the back foot. Hug the outer right hip in. Take one more deep inhale into your body. Full exhale. And both hands come down towards the ground. Lift your back heel, step back, plank pose. Take a deep breath in and plank. Downward facing dog pose. And step your feet together. So they're like one tree trunk. Come onto your tippy toes. Inhale, lift your left leg up, but keep both hips facing down towards the floor. Take one more deep inhale. Can you straighten that leg? Lift it high. And exhale, curl your knee to your face, round through the back. Push the floor away. Step the foot forward between your hands. Drop your back knee down towards the ground. Inhale, reach both hands up towards the sky, Anjaneyasana. Let the pelvis shift forward and down. Pull the left thigh bone back into the hip socket. Pull the right knee forward into the hip. Can you lift up out of your pelvis by stretching the arms up and maybe even drawing the lower abdomen in just a little? Take one more deep inhale. Good. Exhale, keep your chest lifted. Just lower your hands down. Bring them back and interlace the hands together. Option to bring your palms together to make a fist, or keep the palms separate, especially if you have tighter shoulders. Inhale, can you begin to lift your chest a little bit more? And maybe your knuckles begin to touch your back butt or the back hamstring. If that doesn't happen, no worries. Take one more deep inhale. Good. Exhale, lean the torso forward. Take your belly to your front thigh. Lift your back knee up off the floor. Can you take a deep inhale into the body? Full exhale. Both hands come down towards the ground. Once your fingertips are on the floor, shoot your chest forward. Get long through the spine. Press your back thigh up vigorously to the ceiling so that back thigh is working. Squeeze your inner thighs to the midline. Take one more deep inhale. Steady exhale. And pivot that back foot out 45 degrees-ish. Keep the bend into the front knee. Keep reaching the center of your chest forward. And then inhale, reach both hands all the way up, warrior one pose. As you lunge into your front thigh, can you keep rooting down through the back foot? Can you turn the chest to face forward? Can you lift your torso up out of the pelvis as you keep the depth in your legs? Take one more deep inhale. Good. Exhale, chest stays lifted. Hands come down. Interlace the hands. Inhale, just a little open across the chest. And exhale, fold to the left thigh. Keep the bend in your front knee. Keep pressing down to that back foot. Good. Can you let the arms come overhead? And can you draw your shoulder blades towards each other? And as you retract the shoulder blades and draw your shoulder blades to the spine, it takes a stretch into different muscles. Take one more deep inhale. Full exhale. And both hands come down towards the ground. And please step back, plank pose. Take a deep breath in and plank. Downward facing dog pose. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Both knees come down towards the ground. Come down onto your elbows and your forearms. Interlace your hands together. Option to stay in dolphin pose. If headstands in your practice, you can take a headstand. Tuck your toes, lift your knees off the ground. If you're in dolphin, just stay in dolphin. Your head stays off the ground. You push through the elbows and forearms, keep your butt high. If you're coming to headstand, place your head on the floor where your neck's neutral. Walk your feet in, and then come all the way up. Regardless of where you are, can you drive the elbows and the forearms down into the ground? And as you push the elbows and forearms down into the ground, can you get your butt a little bit higher? Can you take 6 more slow, steady breaths, really focusing on your breathing? 5. Can you push your elbows and forearms so profoundly into the floor that maybe your head gets a little further from the floor? Even if you're in headstand, can you lift your head 2 millimeters off the ground? 3 more breaths. You're doing good, everyone. Dolphin pose is not usually everyone's favorite, but it's such a great way to strengthen our shoulders. 2 more breaths. Good. Push those elbows and shoulders down towards the floor. 1 last breath. Good. If you're in headstand, pike halfway to the floor. Hold your pike for 1 breath in, and then we'll all come down. Downward dog pose right away. Gently nod your head yes, and then no, so your neck totally releases. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, nice and slow. Upward dog or cobra. Lift those thighs. Pull the chest forward and through. And then downward facing dog pose, full exhale. Steady ujjayi breath in. And a steady ujjayi breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Walk, walk, walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. Can you fingertip your hands against the floor so they're tented like little spiders? Let your head totally drop. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Lift the inner arches of your feet like you're creating a little shelter for ladybugs and it's raining, so you give them a nice high arch to hide under. Press all 10 toes down. Keep a subtle bend through the knees. Imagine as if there's a block between your thighs and your shins, and hug the legs in, even as you keep the inner arches. And lift it. Let your head drop. Let your jaw relax. Take 1 more deep inhale. Full exhale. And inhale, reach both hands all the way up towards the sky. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, let's flow. Keep the breath steady. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, get long. Exhale, step back, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Really surrender your mind to the feeling of your breath. The more you can do that, the more space your breath will create in your mind. And when you feel like you have space in your mind, you adapt to change with greater ease, because there's a sense of spaciousness and openness and allowing for change to occur. Take one more deep inhale into the body. Exhale, step your feet together, big toes touching. Come onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, think of a handstand and jump. Inhale, halfway lift. If you're in handstand, hold. Exhale, if you're in handstand, hinge at your hips. Come all the way down, everyone. Forward fold, release your head down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your chest. And keep that rhythm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Inhale, lift those thighs, pull the heart forward. Downward facing dog pose, full exhale. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Eyes focus on one place. Keep pressing strongly and evenly through the inner hands. Notice if the elbows are locking out. Subtle bend through the elbows. And take one more deep inhale. On your exhale, step your feet together. Walk them a little closer. Come onto your tippy toes. Bend your knees. Look forward. Jump. Halfway lift. Inhale. If you're in handstand, hinge from your hips, and everyone forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, hands all the way up towards the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to your chest. Good. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Think of handstand. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, unless you're in handstand. Exhale, downward dog. If you're in handstand, hinge at your hips now, chaturanga. Upward dog. We'll all meet in downward dog pose. Step your feet together like they're one tree trunk. Come onto your tippy toes. Keep both hips facing down. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Drop your left knee down, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind you. Inhale, interlace the fingers, open your chest, little back bend. Exhale, belly to front thigh, lift the back thigh up. Both hands to the ground. Inhale, runner's lunge, chest forward, long spine. Exhale, spin your back heel flat, so it's at that 45-degree angle, bend into your front knee. Inhale, warrior one, come all the way up. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold to your inner right thigh. Take a steady breath into your body and a steady breath out. Good. Inhale, reach both hands all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, open warrior two pose. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior two, take a full breath in. Good. Keep reaching back, straighten your front leg. Reach all the way forward, Trikonasana. Right hand comes down to shin, ankle, blocker floor, left hand up towards the sky. If you can, look up towards your left thumb. Draw your shoulders down the back out of your ears. Revolve your chest open to the ceiling. And then just bring your mind's attention to your feet. And can you press evenly down through both feet? 4 more deep breaths. Deep inhale. Steady exhale. If it's too much to turn your head up, then just look down at the ground. That's totally fine. Steady, smooth breath in. Steady, smooth breath out. Good. One last deep inhale. Full exhale. And rebend into your front knee. Place your right hand on the ground on the inside of your right foot. Keep turning the chest open. Reach your left arm overhead for extended side angle. Can you keep the bend in your front knee as you push through that back foot, lifting your back thigh a little bit away from the ground so that back thigh stays high. Keep turning the chest open. Option to stay here, or take your left hand across your lower back towards your right butt. Notice how the front of the shoulder collapses forward. Can you draw the shoulder blade towards the spine, opening across your left pec more? So option to stay here, or take the right arm underneath the right leg, reach back and full bind. 3 more breaths. 2. Can you press the top of the right arm back against your right thigh? Can you turn your chest open just a little bit more? Good. One last deep inhale. Well done. Exhale. Both hands come down towards the ground. Step back, downward facing dog pose. Take a full breath in downward dog. Full breath out. Step your feet together. Come onto your tippy toes. Inhale. Send the tops of your thighs back and up. Exhale. So your butt's super high, super perky, as some might say. Keeping the butt perky, inhale, left leg lifts back and up. Both hips stay facing down. Exhale, step your left foot all the way forward between your hands. Drop your right knee down to the ground. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands behind you, keep the chest lifted. Inhale, open the chest more, maybe knuckles to the back thigh. Exhale, belly towards your front thigh. Lift your back knee off the ground. Both hands come down towards the ground. Inhale, lengthen the spine, get long through the spine. Exhale, plant the back foot at that 45-degree angle. Keep the bend in your front knee. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, open your chest a little, retract your shoulder blades, draw your shoulder blades towards each other. And then exhale, fold. Belly towards the thigh, arms come overhead. Take a deep breath into the body. Full breath out, keep the bend in your front knee, hug the outer left hip in. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching both arms up, full warrior 1 pose again. Open warrior 2 pose. Can you look just off the tip of your left middle finger? Take a steady breath into your body. Steady breath out. Reverse warrior 2. Reach all the way back. Take a full inhale. Now keep reaching back and straighten your front leg. And then reach your left arm far forward. If your stance feels a little long, you can heel toe the back foot in a little. Keeping your front leg straight, reach far forward. And place your left hand down on shin, your ankle, the floor or a block, and your right hand goes right up towards the sky. Now can you turn your chest open? Take a steady breath into your body and a steady breath out. Slow, smooth breath in. Slow, smooth breath out. Can you turn the chest and the pit of the belly almost up towards the sky? Can you let the shoulder blades glide down the back? Can you root down evenly through both feet? Take one more deep inhale. Full exhale. Well done. Bend into your front knee now. Bring that front knee back to that 90-degree angle or in that direction. Left hand can be on ground or block on the inside of your left foot. Take your right hand overhead initially for full Parsva Konasana side angle. Turn the chest up. Draw the lower ribs in. Can you take a steady breath into the body? Steady breath out. As you bend into that front knee, stay anchored through your back foot. Keep lifting that right thigh high. Now take your right arm across your back and place your right hand towards your left glute. And just notice how your right shoulder might roll forward. Can you draw the front of your right shoulder back, retracting that right shoulder blade? Notice how you get more of a stretch through the right pec and a little more movement. Option to just stay here. You don't have to go any further. Otherwise, take the left hand underneath the left leg and full bind. It's a long hold on this left leg. I know you're doing really good. We have been working on straightening the leg and bending the knee, so we're not totally exhausting those muscles there. It's been a bit of counter posing throughout that one sequence, but it is long on that one front left leg right now. So can you embrace the challenge? Take 3 more breaths. Keep opening the chest. Y'all are doing good. 2 more breaths. Pull that right shoulder back. 1 more deep inhale. And then exhale, both hands come down towards the ground. Steps back, downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath in downward dog. Full breath out. Come forward to plank pose, big inhale. Slowly lower, chaturanga with control. Hug those elbows in. Upward dog or cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog pose, full exhale. Right leg lifts up to the sky. Step your right foot all the way forward. Spin your back heel flat, warrior 2 pose, inhale. Hands to your hips, straighten your front leg, exhale. Reach your right hand forward. Lean forward, back into triangle pose. Left hand up towards the sky. Take a full breath into your body. Full breath out. Left hand to your left hip. Look down now. Bend into your right knee. Walk your right hand 1 foot forward and lift your left leg up to the sky, coming towards half moon pose. Now push that left heel back and up to the sky. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling. Turn your chest open. Now option 1, just stay here. Especially if this is already quite a tough pose for you, then just stay here. If you want to add a bit more challenge, reach your left hand straight back. Keep focusing your eyes on one spot on the floor. And then maybe reach your right hand back as well. So both hands reach back. And then maybe interlace your hands together like we've been doing the whole time. Maybe bend your left knee. Reach back with the foot, the hands, and see if you can catch your left foot with both hands. If you've caught your foot, see if you can begin to kick the foot back behind you. As you kick the foot back behind you, can you open your chest? Take a steady breath in and a steady breath out. 1 more deep inhale. Full exhale. Good. Come back to half moon pose. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Step back, plank pose. Take a full breath in and plank. Chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Now, if that didn't quite work for you, don't worry, it didn't work for me. Give yourself a bit of space for things to sometimes not always go according to plan. Left leg lifts, inhale. Step your left foot all the way forward. Warrior 2, inhale, come up. Hands to your hips. Straighten your front leg. Turn your back foot in a little, reach far forward. Trikonasana, left hand down to shin, ankle, or block. Right hand to the sky. Take a steady breath in. Steady breath out. Right hand to your right hip. Look down, bend into your left knee, shift forward. Half moon pose. Push that right heel back. Spin the chest open. Can you get your right leg a little higher? Maybe reach that right arm up towards the sky. Turn the chest open. Good. Look down at the floor for steady balance. If your balance is a little bit off today, like me, don't worry about it. Just stay in half moon. If you want to be still a little adventurous, right hand reaches straight back. Keep that right leg pressing up. Maybe the left hand, reaches back. Maybe interlace the hands together. Stay focused. Maybe begin to bend the right knee. As you bend the right knee, can you bring the foot towards the hands? And then maybe hook the hands around the foot. Good. Can you stay focused? If you have the foot, can you begin to kick it back? Take 2 more breaths. Try to stay focused. 1 more breath. If you lose it, it's okay. It's okay to fall. Come back to half moon pose. Take a full breath in half moon. Lift and open the chest. Well done. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Step back. Plank pose. Take a full breath in plank. Chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog pose. Take a steady breath into your body. Steady breath out. 1 more deep inhale. Full exhale. Please come forward to plank pose. Lower all the way to your belly. Once you're on your belly, reach both hands back. And just like the beginning of class, can you lift your chest? Can you lift your legs? Can you roll the inner thighs up and press the pubic bone down? Now can you lift your arms? Take 3 expansive big breaths. Lift the chest, lift the arms, lift the legs. 2, y'all are doing good. I know those balancing poses can sometimes be a bit tricky. 1 last breath. Lift the legs, lift the chest a little higher. Good. Exhale, release. Turn your head to one side, rest your cheek on the ground. Turn your head the other way. Come back through center, bend both knees. Reach back, grab the tops of your feet. Now, if this is not working for your back today or for your shoulders, you do not have to grab your feet. You can just take your hands back behind you and interlace your hands, or keep your hands apart like we did earlier. Regardless of where you are, can you inhale, lift your chest? Once the chest is up, can you draw your shoulder blades towards each other so the front of the chest broadens? And then maybe begin to press the feet up to the sky. And then maybe begin to press the feet back. Can you take 5 breaths? Yeah, baby. 4 more breaths. If you're like me, I'm beginning to schwitz a whole lot. 3 more breaths, embracing that challenge. Lift the legs, lift your chest. 2 more breaths. 1 last deep breath in, lift everything up. And exhale, release. Well done. Please push back to your hands and knees so you're in table pose. Inhale, look forward, tilt the sit bones up. Cow pose. And exhale, just very slowly and mindfully moving into cat. Just very gently push your hands and knees down, round through the back. Gaze towards your belly button. 1 more time. Inhale, look forward, tilt the sit bones up. And just very gently exhale, gently rounding the spine. Just very gentle. Inhale, come to neutral. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. If you've got a solid handstand practice, think of a handstand. But before that, just try to find a bit of neutralness through the spine. So no rounding, no back bending, just a nice neutral spine. Step your feet together. Look between your hands. We're going to jump through to seated. If you'd like, you can pass through a handstand, bend your knees, and hop. Once you're on your bum, cross your legs, bring them out in front of you. If you're in handstand, try to cross your ankles, bend your knees, and then slowly come all the way through. Duncan's time to show off. La 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 la. Okay. Please bend your right knee. Cross your right foot over your left leg. Option to tuck your left foot back like I just did. If that doesn't work for you, keep your left leg out in front. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And exhale, option to just hug the right leg with your left arm as you twist, or take your left elbow to the outside of the knee. Inhale, can you get a little taller through the torso? And exhale, can you turn to just gently gaze back? Can you let your shoulders relax? Let your jaw relax. Take 3 breaths. 2. Okay, 1 last breath. And come back through center. Nothing fancy. We'll just come right into the other side. So cross your left leg over your right leg. Option to keep your right leg out in front or tuck it back beside your left hand. Left hand comes behind you, right hand reaches up, big inhale. Exhale, elbow to the outside of the knee. Or hug the leg with your right hand. Inhale, can you sit tall through the torso? Exhale, twist. 3 steady breaths. Inhale, finding length, sitting tall. And exhale, just very gently twisting. Doesn't have to be a super deep twist. 2 more breaths. Can you begin to allow your body to soften a little? So the shoulders relax, your jaw relaxes. Good. Inhale, look forward. And please bring both legs straight out in front of you. Inhale, reach both hands up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold over both of your legs. Can you let your head release? If you're a little tighter through the hamstrings, feel free to bend your knees. And a nice little trick I like to do if you have really tight legs is take your forearms underneath your legs, behind the knees, and grab elbow to elbow. And then try to let your legs straighten. Let your head release. Wherever you are, can you take 4 more slow, conscientious breaths? Letting your breath create space in your mind and body. Can you let your head relax? Let your jaw maybe even open a little so the mouth relaxes. One more deep inhale. Full exhale. Slowly lie down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. Maybe come into happy baby pose, grabbing onto the bottoms of your feet or your ankles. My friend Rodney used to call this his Saturday night pose. Something a little raunchy. And then we'll slowly make our way into Shavasana, corpse pose. So can you lengthen your legs along the ground? And let your arms and your legs rest against the floor. Can you allow your jaw to again soften? Can there be a softness across your face? The spot between your eyebrows, your forehead totally relaxes. Your hands relax, and your feet relax. There's a softness blossoming from your belly. If you'd like to stay here a little longer, please feel free to. Otherwise, take a deep breath into your body. And a full breath out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take your arms overhead, give your body a big stretch. Bend your knees. Roll onto your right hand side. And then slowly push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in front of your chest, palms touching. As our bodies are continuously changing, as our life is continuously changing, can we use the practice of yoga to create more spaciousness in our mind so that we're more willing to adapt to change? We can let go of some of our attachments. May you have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you.